Tomorrow, this city will cease to exist. Its streets will be buried, its houses sealed, its people erased beneath ash and stone. But on this morning, nothing feels unusual. The sun rises over tiled rooftops and painted walls. Light spreads across narrow streets paved with worn volcanic stone. Wooden shutters remain closed. Market stalls stand empty. The air is still. In the distance, Mount Vesuvius rests against the pale sky, quiet and unremarkable. It is August 23rd, 79 AD. Pompeii wakes as it always does. Before the heat settles in, ovens are lit. Smoke begins to curl above rooftops. A few early footsteps echo in alleyways. Somewhere, a door opens. Somewhere else, water splashes into a basin. There are no signs posted, no warnings, no sense of urgency. By every measure available to its residents, this is an ordinary day. Pompeii is not a village. It is a thriving Roman city of roughly 10 to 20,000 people, tightly packed within its stone walls. Streets are narrow. Buildings rise 2 and sometimes 3 stories high. Painted advertisements and political slogans cover plastered walls. At first light, bakeries begin their work. Large circular ovens, built of brick and clay, are heated with wood gathered from nearby hills. Grain milled into flour is kneaded by hand and pressed into loaves marked with stamps identifying their source. Bread is not a luxury here, it is daily necessity. In wealthier homes, slaves sweep atriums and polish metal fixtures. Water flows through lead pipes into private fountains and basins supplied by aqueducts that connect Pompeii to distant springs. The engineering is reliable, clean water is part of daily life. Street vendors arrange vegetables, olives, fish preserved in salt. A cart rattles over uneven stone. Children run barefoot between columns. Dogs move lazily through patches of shade. The Forum, the civic heart of the city, begins to fill. Merchants, magistrates, priests, laborers all converge in a space framed by temples, administrative buildings, and colonnades. Conversations overlap. Coins change hands. Public life unfolds with structure and familiarity. Nothing suggests fragility. Everything suggests continuity. Pompeii sits near the Bay of Naples, positioned along trade routes that connect it to the broader Roman world. Ships move between ports carrying wine, olive oil, garum, textiles, and stone. Warehouses near the water store goods that will travel inland. The city's economy is active. Its bathhouses operate daily, serving as both social and hygienic centers. Heated rooms circulate steam through hollow walls. Patrons move from warm chambers to cold pools, discussing politics and business. The amphitheater stands at the edge of the city, capable of holding thousands. Public games are not rare events. They are part of civic identity. Graffiti lines the streets, announcements, endorsements, jokes, declarations of affection. Politics here is visible and personal. Local elections matter. Campaign slogans are painted directly onto homes and shops. 17 years earlier, in 62 AD, a powerful earthquake damaged much of the city. Buildings collapsed. Columns cracked. Walls split open. But Pompeii did not decline. It rebuilt. Even now, repairs are visible. Fresh plaster covers older fractures. Masonry crews continue their work in certain districts. The earthquake has become part of memory, disruptive but survivable. Small tremors still occur from time to time. They are noticed, then ignored. Beyond the city walls, vineyards stretch across the slopes. The soil here is fertile. The mountain that rises behind Pompeii has shaped the land for generations. It is not feared, it is simply there. By late morning, the streets are fully alive. Trade continues. Conversations deepen. The rhythm of the city is steady and practiced. Nothing in the architecture suggests imminent loss. Nothing in the routine suggests finality. Pompeii is functioning. and by all appearances, it will continue to function tomorrow. Pompeii's prosperity depends on systems that operate continuously, often unnoticed by those who rely on them. Water arrives through elevated aqueduct channels from distant springs, feeding fountains, bathhouses, workshops and private homes. Beneath the streets, pipes branch outward in controlled networks that maintain steady pressure. Public fountains spill into basins throughout the city, providing constant access without interruption. Comfort here is not accidental. It is engineered. Inside bath complexes, heat circulates beneath suspended floors supported by brick pillars, while steam moves through hollow walls to warm entire chambers. Bakeries depend on stable ovens and rotating millstones. Workshops rely on steady labor and predictable supply. Amphorae filled with oil, wine and garum are stacked in dense storage rooms built to bear weight. Upper floors rest on timber beams anchored into masonry that must remain aligned and intact. Streets are narrow and efficient, designed to maximize space rather than openness. Trade flows because structures hold and schedules remain reliable. The city appears solid and permanent, but its stability is the result of coordination. Architecture, labor, water, storage, and movement operate together in quiet balance. Nothing feels fragile. Nothing seems temporary, as long as each part continues functioning as intended. Pompeii does not question the ground beneath it. By early afternoon, the heat settles heavily across Pompeii. Stone streets radiate warmth. Market noise softens as vendors retreat briefly into shade. The pace of the city slows, but does not stop. Inside homes, meals are prepared. Bread baked at dawn is sliced and dipped in olive oil. Fish sauce is poured into shallow bowls. Lentils simmer in ceramic pots. Water flows steadily through fountains, clear and dependable. In the public baths, steam gathers against curved ceilings. Conversations drift between heated chambers and cold pools. Business is discussed. News is exchanged. The city's concerns are local: politics, property disputes, trade agreements. Not survival, not catastrophe. In shaded courtyards, children chase each other between columns. A dog lies stretched across cool tile. A slave adjusts fabric awnings to block the sun. The mountain remains visible above the rooftops. Still, as the day progresses, individual routines continue without interruption. In a bakery near the Via dell'Abbondanza, the final batches of bread are removed from the oven. The baker checks the crust by touch, presses lightly against its surface, satisfied. Coins are exchanged. A customer leaves with a marked loaf tucked beneath his arm. Across town, a woman in a modest villa inspects stored grain jars, ensuring nothing has spoiled in the heat. Her household relies on careful management. Food is security. Near a public fountain, a young slave boy balances an amphora against his hip, waiting his turn to collect water. He shifts his weight, impatient, unaware that this errand will be repeated many times tomorrow, though tomorrow will not unfold as expected. An older man sits in the forum beneath a shaded portico, watching foot traffic pass. He has seen Pompeii before and after the great earthquake. He trusts the city's endurance. These are not heroic lives. They are ordinary Roman lives, structured, disciplined, predictable. Their plans extend into the following week. Contracts will be honored. Goods will be delivered. Repairs will continue. Festivals will be scheduled. No one writes farewell letters. No one prepares to leave. Late in the afternoon, another tremor passes beneath the city. It is stronger than the one before, but brief. A cartwheel strikes uneven stone as the ground shifts slightly. Birds resting along a roofline lift suddenly into the air. Water ripples across the surface of a basin. A few residents glance instinctively toward the mountain. There is no visible change. No ash, no flame, no rising column. Within moments, conversation resumes. For years, tremors have come and gone without consequence. The memory of 62 AD remains, but rebuilding has reinforced confidence. Structures stand taller than before. Walls are thicker, repairs are fresh. Pompeii has survived instability. It will survive again. As the sun begins its descent, long shadows stretch across the city streets. Work concludes gradually. Shutters close. Carts return home. The day nears its end, and by every observable measure, it has been entirely ordinary. As the sun lowers toward the western hills, Pompeii begins to quiet. Market stalls close one by one. Unsold goods are carried back indoors. Wooden shutters are pulled across shop fronts and secured for the night. The final loaves of bread are sold. Ash from the ovens is swept aside. Bakers bank their fires carefully, preparing to relight them at dawn. In homes across the city, oil lamps are lit as shadows stretch along painted walls. Dinner is simple and familiar. Bread, olives, lentils, preserved fish, diluted wine. Conversations remain ordinary. There is discussion of trade shipments expected in the coming days. Repairs still needed on a damaged portico. A local election. A dispute between neighbors. Nothing suggests interruption. In the public baths, the last patrons rinse away the day's dust. Steam thins as furnaces are allowed to cool. Attendants close heavy doors. Outside the city walls, vineyards rest beneath fading light. The slopes of Vesuvius glow briefly in the warm colors of sunset. There is no sign of urgency. Darkness settles gradually. Foot traffic diminishes. Carts disappear from the streets. Dogs curl into corners. Inside atriums, lamps flicker against painted frescoes, scenes of gods, landscapes, distant mythologies. Children fall asleep beside open courtyards. Slaves roll bedding onto stone floors. Merchants count coins by lamplight, planning tomorrow's transactions. The Forum stands empty beneath the night sky. Harbour waters grow still. The mountain rises in silhouette, its outline barely visible against the stars. There are no alarms, no messengers, no attempt to leave. Pompeii sleeps. Throughout the night, the city remains unaware. The systems that sustained it continue without interruption. Water flowing through pipes, livestock shifting in pens, embers cooling in ovens. By every measure available to its people, tomorrow will unfold like today. But tomorrow will not be ordinary. Tomorrow, Mount Vesuvius will rupture. Ash will rise thousands of feet into the sky. Stone and fire will fall across these streets. Homes will collapse. Air will turn unbreathable. Within hours, Pompeii will disappear beneath layers of volcanic debris, sealed from view for centuries. But on this night, none of that has begun. The city is still intact. Its people still asleep. Its routines still unbroken. Tomorrow, Pompeii will be buried beneath ash and stone. But today, it is alive,